Well, it sure has been an interesting regular season here in Fraggle Rock. The good teams have been bad, the bad teams have been good, and the worst team or the best team in a division actually is the worst team in a division. Wow. The worst division also was the best division. The best division, the worst division. How strange is that? First, before I go into all of it, we have to congratulate Week 13 winners. We have Fraggle Wembley, who destroyed the now number 2 seed, Despicable Me, 120-61. Bringing him to 10-3 on the season, and Despicable Me drops to 8-5. We have Get Some in the featured matchup, who claimed his playoff spot over Show Me Your TDs with a 107-92 victory, going from 4-6 to 7-4 and in the playoffs. Then, matchup number 2, we have Fraggle Gobbo beating Rumham, bringing both of them to 7-6. But that wasn't all, boys. Gobbo beat Rumham by more than 24 points, 26 points, but they don't actually, in the overall scoring, you don't actually count in home field advantage. So he beat him by 25 points legitimately and claimed the final playoff spot by 1 point. In the whole season, he beat Rumham by 1 point. I mean, if you guys really think about it, that 1 point, one of the last plays of the game on Sunday night, when his running back decided to go backwards for 12 yards, taking away how many points? 1 point. How many players did he switch out that didn't get 1 point? Or someone who got 12 points instead of 13 points, 59 yards instead of 60, 85 yards instead of 90, or Gobbo getting 90 points instead of 89. My God, anyhow, 1 point. That was incredibly suspenseful on my part. I'm pretty sure on Hugo's part. And I think Rumham Ryan didn't even know. He thought that if he lost, he lost. But surprise, surprise, you lost and you did lose, but not in the way that you thought. Also, congratulations to Boober, who doesn't win the Sacco, but neither does Dershfall yet. It's actually the last place team in the whole entire league, and that happens after the consolation playoffs. So, congratulations, Boober. You can still win the Sacco. I don't know. We got to rename it. We can't call it the Sacco. But, I mean, like, I do like that trophy, so we should do something like that. So, honestly, all you guys put in the best name for it, and we will call it that. The one that I pick out of all of your guys' suggestions will be put on. And don't say Sacco, assholes. I know one of you motherfuckers would do that. I know it. I'm looking at you, German. Sexy Time Explosion ended his year with a big win. Not big enough, though, even though he had 121 points, even if Gobbo didn't top Rumham for most points scored in the year. Sexy Time Explosion would have fell just short, but he did win 121-100 against Barroom Heroes. Now, little trivia for you guys. The team that most of you in the Gorg division said was the weaker division, which would have been Fraggles. Let's just say this. Boober, who finished 4th in our division and 4th in points in our division, outscored every single one of you in your division. In fact, your number one team in your division ended up last. Barroom Heroes finished with 1,175 points. Good enough for fifth place in Fraggle's division, and first place in your division. And yet, because unlucky win-loss, he actually tied points for and points against. But with a unfortunate 5-8 record, misses the playoffs and becomes last place in your division and second to last in the league in the regular season. Your second highest score, which was Gobo, is actually second. Rumham, which is third, he was your third highest score. And then Despicable Me, who was your fourth highest score, finishes first in your division. That is pretty screwed up. Now, if you also look at Get Some in the Fraggle division, 1,261 points. Second most points in the league, and he had 1,313 points scored against. He actually had more points scored against him than points for him, but definitely the right person got into the playoffs. He definitely deserved it. Unfortunately, the other right person, which is Show Me Your TDs, does not make the playoffs, even though he put up a very, very solid 1,235 points, averaging just shy of 10 points or 100 points per week, because his record dropped down to 6-7. If he went up against any other person in the league other than Get Some last week, and maybe against four other people, he would have been in as well, and Gobo would have been shown the door, and his title hopes of repeating would have been done. Instead, he's going to have to wait 2 weeks for them to be done, because in the first round, we have number 1 seed Fraggle Wembley versus number 4 seed Fraggle Gobo. We have 2 former champions going up against each other in the first round. We definitely know who the favorite is, and I will go into that in playoff matchup number 1, coming up soon. But then we're going to have the second best team, which is Despicable Me, who's the number 2 seed after winning the division in Gorgs, go up against the number 3 seeded Get Some, who helped me prove that my brilliance knows no bounds by saying that his team that everybody made fun of because he picked injured everybody climbed to be the second most points in the league and a third best team in the league. He will be going up against Despicable Me for the next 2 weeks to see who will face me in the finals. Me or Hugo in the finals. Me in the finals. Anyhow, guys, it was an amazing regular season. I can't believe how close it actually came at the very end of the season. There was 5 people that possibly could have got the last spot in the playoffs. 5. That's half the league. And that's not including the 2 people that were already in it. So the last 2 spots were up for grabs, and there was 5 people left. That's amazing. It shows that really there's not really a weak team. There were some teams that definitely underperformed. Boober, who finished 8th in the league with only 5 wins, had some of the most points in the league, has an incredible team for next year. I know he got some draft picks from other people in the league, including myself. Should set him up really well as long as he drafts well. So he's definitely going to be a contender. And after 4 years in the league, he might actually make the playoffs next year. We'll see. I actually had him as sleeper before the season started, and I think his team, even though the record doesn't show it, did really well. He did have the most points scored against him than anybody else in the league. Pretty much 200 more points than anybody in Gorgs got scored against them. So really kind of shows maybe his record doesn't show how good his team really is. We'll see how that is. But like I said, guys, great 2012 season. D-Row already brought up asking if he wanted more teams in the playoffs. You guys can comment on that, or if you think of anything else for next year. We've always thought about turning into a 12-team league, but if we went to a 12-team league, number one, we would have to find two very, very solid people that I want continuously, not falling in and out with people. Plus, I think that if we do that, I like to switch to a PPR league, but that would be up for grabs too. But like I said, everything is up in the air and up for votes in Fraggle Rock. I might be your unquestioned overlord, but I do take my little people's opinions into consideration. Anyhow, guys, meet me in the matchups. Even if you're not in the playoffs, watch them. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Ryan. If you knew, you might have done better. Talk to you guys.